Hey folks, Gary here with Paramount Tactical Solutions, your source for guns, gear, training, and tactics, all brought to you by real world experience. So we have an exciting video for today. What we're gonna be doing is an unboxing and feature overview of the Tactacam film through scope system. This is a pretty cool system because as a consumer, it allows you to film that once in a lifetime hunt, or from a training standpoint, you can actually see what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. And that's really why we're really interested in this. I actually saw the system on a couple guns, so I've used it, but I haven't actually, taken it apart, put it together, and all that other good stuff. But I'll tell you, from a training perspective, or filming that once in a lifetime hunt, or whatever you got going on, it just really is invaluable because there's nothing. This is the only system that I'm aware of where there's nothing in between you and your optic. We're attaching this, but you're still looking through that optic, and we're going to show you how all that works. I've never actually attached this to an optic, so we're going to be working through that together. This right here is their Tactacam Spotter LR system. We're not going to do a review or unboxing on this today, but look for that video in the very near future. So watch this intro and we'll see you back here in just a second. All right, folks, let's jump right into this. So the first thing you need to know is that the film through scope system is an accessory to the Tactacam action camera system itself. And this by itself is an amazing product. We needed to do a separate review of this alone because I can tell you there are so many great uses for this. And it's not just to make cool guy videos, but from a training perspective, while you're out there doing some shooting, taking a course or whatever it is, this has a lot of value by itself. And then you pair that with this and it allows you to get some of that same value when it comes to long range shooting. So, whether you're military or law enforcement, this is a great system, or just a recreational shooter. This is a great system that will allow you to do those after action reviews, whether it's training, whether it's real world situations, whatever it happens to be. So again, I'm really doing this a disservice by not doing a review on this product first, but both of these products together make an amazing package, and we're going to start off with this. So it is what it is. The film through scope system. So, just like I said earlier, I've used this, but I've never actually assembled this, put it together. So we're going to be working through that together, and we'll see how that feels from, the end user. And that's really my intent. All right. So when we open this up, we have the device right there. We have a little card here. It says Tactacam FTS. Thank you and welcome to the Tactacam family. Please visit tactacam.com for instruction on how to properly install your film through scope system. You should probably do that, right? So, but we're not going to today. All right, so as I unpackage this, we have this device right here, which is essentially a periscope, but we'll get more into that in a few minutes. Take this out. We have another hidden compartment down here, more accessories. All right, so it looks like we have different fittings for different size optics. And then we got an Allen wrench. All right, so you can see here there's some different collars, different sizing collars for different size optics. So you're gonna be able to find one of these collars that fits the optic that you have. So you're gonna be pretty hard pressed to find a optic that this doesn't work on. What's also really cool about this system that I think it makes it unique is that you can use it on almost any optic. You can use it if you're a left-handed shooter, right-handed shooter, it doesn't matter. Again, this is really well thought out, really well engineered, just a great system overall. So what I do know is that we're gonna have to remove these screws. This is the portion right here that holds the Tactacam, and this is the portion that actually mounts onto the scope itself. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and grab the fix-it sticks. All right, so we got the fix-it sticks. We're gonna go ahead and use this to loosen it up instead of that little Allen wrench that's included. So we got all of those off, and it looks like this comes with 7 different size adapters. So again, it's gonna work with whatever scope that you got. Now let's go ahead and open up the Tactacam system. All right, thank you, welcome to the Tactacam family. Nice little card there. All right, a fast start guide for your Tactacam 5.0. Fully charge your camera with the included USB plug and cord. I will be doing that in a minute, because I haven't done that, obviously. The SD card is not included. It looks like Tactacam recommends a 64 gig micro SD card, so keep that in mind. And this thing does record in 4K, so make sure that you have this little mark on your actual SD card, that little 3 down there. If you're gonna record in 4K, make sure you have that so that you get at least 30 megabytes per second, which is what you're gonna need for recording in 4K. Here is the actual unit itself. Very light. It's actually lighter than I thought it would be. Very nice unit overall. Very well made. It's just the fit and finish on this looks very nice. All right, so to get this back end off here, make sure you'll see a lock and unlock. Make sure it is slid up toward the unlock portion. And then right here, you'll see this dot that has a locked and an unlock little icon. We're just gonna twist that firmly. I was almost scared to break it. I felt I was gonna be pulling on it too hard. And the back here, this is the actual battery itself. It slides out. And then we have our SD slot and a USB slot right there. Looks like we have a color code. Green is 4K, purple is zoom, and blue is slow-mo. So from what I found, I guess these batteries last about 2 hours. You can get additional batteries and additional charging stations. So, but I have seen that people are getting pretty good life out of these particular batteries. So, all right, so let's take a quick break. And what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna actually charge this thing up and then we're gonna put all this thing together. All right, folks, so we got the batteries all charged up. So this unit, the Tactacam 5.0, it actually comes with one battery, and it actually has, I'll tell you right now, all the accessories come with USB-C, which I don't know if I've turned into like a techno snob, but I gotta be honest with you, if an item comes to me and it has mini USB or the micro USB, I'm not a big fan of it. So I'm glad it has USB-C. It took about an hour and a half for this to fully charge. Now, I will tell you, I also have the Tactacam. I have 2 additional batteries, and they come in this particular little case right here. There again, it took it about an hour and a half to recharge. Now, this you can actually charge, comes with a it comes with a mini USB, but you can also charge it with the USB-C as well. So really nice. And I will tell you, while I was waiting for this to charge, I just kind of went over all the different products, the fit and finish of everything, and it's just really impressive, to be honest with you. As soon as I used this out on the range, this device, and again, it was somebody else's, I immediately knew that, number one, we needed them for our training. Number 2, I wanted to carry these, but I didn't get a chance to really go over and look at how high quality these items really are. And they are really impressive. I think if you get one, or if you just get one in your hand, you'll see that the finish on this is really nice, smooth, kind of rubberized feel, but everything is just really nice looking. And I just like the attention to detail that they put into these. So, take that for what it is. So anyways, it took about an hour and a half for all the batteries to charge. I definitely would recommend get you some extra batteries. Anytime that I have a recording device, especially if you're going on a once in a lifetime hunt, or you're at a training event that you're spending a lot of money on, where you want to capture as much as you can of that, make sure you bring extra batteries. That little bit of extra cost is not that big a deal. And I will tell you, at the end of this, we're gonna have a promo deal for an entire package. So stay tuned for that, for sure. All right, so let's go over some of the features of the Tactacam 5.0, because just by itself, this is a remarkable product. And if you look on the back here, some of the features, you get 8x zoom. It'll record in 4K, 30 frames per second, 2K, 30 frames per second, 1080p, 120 frames per second. Has image stabilization technology. It has image stabilization. Tactacam app. So you are gonna want to download the Tactacam app. And a lot of the stuff in here refers to Tactacam app, but it's actually Tactacam Wi-Fi app. So make sure you look that up, and we're gonna go over some of that in a minute. It is weatherproof, shock resistant, 50 cal tested, USB 2.0 to Mac and PC. Video aspect ratio 16:9, storage micro SD up to 128 gigs. So again, excellent product, a lot of cool features, and I think you're gonna be very happy with this, whether you get the film through scope option or not, but this is definitely a really cool product. All right, so over here, I just wanna show you how we're gonna have to hook this up. Once you get this thing charged up, you are gonna wanna go to Google Play or the App Store and get the Tactacam Wi-Fi app. This is what it looks like right here. Now, what you're gonna wanna do first is turn this on. So we're going to long press this button here. We have that green light. If it's blinking, because I know when I was turning this on earlier a couple times, just like right now, it's actually recording. So if it's blinking, it's recording. You need to know that. So hit it again, it'll turn off that record feature. All right, right here on this bottom button is your Wi-Fi. So we're gonna hold that, we're gonna press that for 3 seconds until you see that blue light right there. Once we know that we're emitting a Wi-Fi signal, we're gonna go to the settings in our phone. We're gonna look at the Wi-Fi, and we're gonna find Tactacam 5.0. So I hit Tactacam 5.0. I am now linked up to that Wi-Fi. All right, now we're gonna go over here to our app. We just hit our app, it's connecting. All right, we are now connected to that. So now you see in the app what the actual camera sees. All right, and we can hit Looks like we can actually hit record. And there we go. There's our camera setup, our lights, us, all that good stuff. All right, so we will turn that off. Now we're not recording. All right, so now that we have that set up, because we're gonna need that, we're gonna need this set up and linked up to your phone so that when we do install this through the film through scope system, we can actually make sure that we're in focus and we have the camera oriented so that our crosshairs are level. Hopefully that makes sense, but you'll be able to check that through your app. And again, I'll tell you from an instructor point of view, this is really helpful too, because I can look at this in real time. I can put this on, an iPad or some other larger device like that and actually look and see exactly what's going on with that student. I can see what's going on when they pull the trigger, but of course we're also recording that so you can show the student later as well. So there's almost an unlimited amount of benefits from being able to actually see what the optic sees, what the student sees, what the gun sees as you're pulling the trigger from an instructional and from a training standpoint. So pretty cool system. I'm pretty stoked about it. I plan on having these on all our rifles for our long range courses, all our student guns. That way, a couple different things. Number one, just like I said, we can see what's going on with the student and we can use that information. We can pull that, maybe even put it in PowerPoints and things like that for instructional purposes. But again, also what we'll be able to do is actually take that SD card and we can give that to the student, and now they can take that home with them and they can show everybody what they did or remember what they did. So again, when you're out shooting, whether it's a training event or you're out on a hunt, these things are stuff that you want to remember. So a lot of cool capabilities, it really is. All right, so for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, and we're gonna talk more about the film through scope system itself and how we're going to install that onto the rifle. Now, these different collars are essentially adapters so that we can put this on the optic, and then you're sliding this onto the optic itself. Now we can rotate this in many different ways. Number one, to make sure that when we rotate this and install it onto the weapon itself, everything is out of our way. Nothing's impeding us, whether it's manipulating the bolt or in our line of sight. If we're trying to look at our bubble level on the side of a gun or something like that, we can move this to make sure that it's not impeding function or our ability to shoot properly, right? So that is something that I really like about this system. All right, so what also on these collars, you'll notice, I want you guys to see, we have numbers, which is, again, another nice feature. A lot of times you get adapter kits like this and they don't have numbers and you're not sure which one you use last or whatever else it is. So that, again, is just another nice touch that I really like. I've already checked, and on the particular scope that I'll be mounting this to today, which is a Bushnell Elite XRS2, it was a number 7. So that's what we're going to be putting on. So I'm going to clear all this stuff off. We're going to get the gun up here. We're going to mount this and we'll go on from there. All right, folks. So we have our Bushnell Elite XRS up here on the Savage 110 Elite. Check out our videos for that. So I have that number 7 that I determined, and all I did to determine that was I was like, oh, you know what, that goes on there fairly smooth. You'll notice on these adapters there's actually a collar on this or a rim, right? And make sure that you understand that that rim is going that way. So here's the FTS unit itself, and again, like I was telling you guys, while I was waiting for those batteries to charge, I was kind of just handling all this, everything, and just everything. The fit and finish on these is great. I'm just really impressed with that. Now, I will tell you, what you're going to need to do is I actually pulled this portion apart a little bit to make sure that I had the give, if you will, to get it over that scope. So again, we're going to hold this up here just like this. I've got that on there. I'm going to slide. All right, I'm going to slide this off just a little bit, and then we're going to start working that FTS unit on, and then we're just going to keep kind of wiggling it gently until we are all the way on there. That looks pretty good right there. Now that we have that on there, what we're going to do is going to go ahead and take our Tactacam, all right, and we're going to put it in this portion right here. Actually, I'm going to move this just slightly over because that's where I want it. All So I fiddled around with this a little bit, and I thought it was going to be the number 7 collar on there. It didn't feel right. It felt like I was trying to force it too much with the number 7. So what I did was I just took that number 7 collar out, and I just slid this on there just by itself without any adapter whatsoever. And this is the way that I'm going to run this. And I actually called Tactacam to make sure that that was an option, right? That, you know, there wasn't something where they said you had to run one of these collars or it was beneficial or anything else. So they said it was absolutely normal for some of these larger ocular lens optics to where you're going to run this without a collar. So if you run into that issue, don't worry about that. All right, and at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just so that my Tactacam isn't moving around, I'm just going to snug this down just ever so slightly. We're going to have to adjust this, but again, I just want a little bit of tension on it so that I can kind of see what's going on there. All right, so I'm going to take this outside so that we can finish this setup, because what I'm trying to do right now is make sure that the scope and the system itself are lined up to where they're focused, right? So everything's nice and clear. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the Tactacam itself until the crosshairs are square inside of our actual cameras. Now, I did try turning this on and seeing if we could tell if it was in focus, whatever, indoors. You really can't. So we're going to stop right here. We're going to take this outside, finish setup out there to where we can see actually what's going on. So I'll see you outside in a second. All right, so before we finish setup on this, what I want you to do is go down in the comments. Maybe it's something I haven't mentioned yet, but I want you to list all the benefits that you see from the system, whether it's from a training standpoint or just from a recreational standpoint. So list that down below. The other thing is, if you haven't done so already, hit like in this video and definitely subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. The other thing is, you've stuck with us for a long time already. Go down into the description. There's going to be a promo code for a special package deal that is exclusive to this channel. You're going to get the actual FTS system, you're going to get the Tactacam 5.0, and you're going to get additional batteries all in one package deal for a significant discount. So go check that out right now. All right, so let's go ahead and finish setup on this. Once you attach this, and again, whether or not you need to use the adapters or your ocular lens is large like mine to where you don't need the adapter, the point is you want that thing on there all the way. You want it to fit flush all the way forward, and then it needs to be snug, right? So this isn't moving or anything like that. All right, so that's where we're at on that. Now, I want you to come over here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish setting this up. And what you're going to need is obviously this kind of on there. It's not completely tightened down yet. We're going to finish tightening it up in a few minutes, but you're also going to need to make sure that your app is installed, that Tactacam Wi-Fi app. First thing that we're going to do is power our unit on. All right, that is on. All right, it's blinking, so we're going to hit it again. And again, this is not snugged all the way. You're also going to need your Allen wrench because we're going to end up tightening up all the components once we get this thing set up correctly. Now we're going to go ahead and hit the Wi-Fi button. All right, I felt that vibrate twice. We know that's on. So now I'm going to go to my settings in my phone. I'm at Wi-Fi. We see the Tactacam 5.0. We're linking up to that. And now we're going to go over here to the Tactacam Wi-Fi. It's connected. All right, now we have a preview of what's going on there. All right, so, you know, again, once we're linked up to the app, I can actually go in here. The scope works as normal. I'm looking through my scope. There's no visual distortion or anything else because we've attached this piece of equipment. And again, this is recorded in actually 4K. So you can even crop in on this without losing any real definition. So overall, this is super cool. And you do have to play with this a little bit to make sure that it is attached properly and that everything is lined up. And it just takes a couple seconds to get that, and then you tighten it down. Once you get it tightened down, you're good to go. All right, folks, well, that is the Tactacam FTS system. I can tell you right now, I got a lot more to learn on this thing, both with just the camera itself as well as the FTS. But I think with initial setup, that was great. Some of the benefits there, you're actually able to video in 4K, which gives you a lot of ability to crop in and zoom digitally in your post-editing software, whatever that you're using.
and I absolutely love the fact that this doesn't get in the way of actually using the gun, which most systems do. I have a couple different, you know, cell phone attachments and things like that I've used in the past to capture image and footage off of both scopes and spotting scopes, and man, they're just a pain in the butt. They're hard to use. With those, you're either making the choice of capturing some footage or being able to actually use the gun, and this allows you to do both, and I'm really impressed with that. I'm excited about getting these on some student guns. I'm excited about some of the footage that we're going to get once we're out at courses. All right, folks, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was informative. Make sure that you're going down to the description below. Check out the promotional package that we're offering on this. You're going to get the camera itself, the film through scope system, as well as additional batteries, all in one package, straight to you at a price that is exclusive to this channel. We always appreciate you watching, so we're going to do everything we can to make it worth your while. And while guns, gear, and cameras and all this other cool stuff is great, what we're really about is training, so make sure you go to ParamountTactical.com. Go check out our upcoming training schedule. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're in the long range, and I'm telling you, long range shooting is not something that you want to self-teach. Come learn it the right way, right? Quit wasting your time, quit wasting ammo, quit buying stuff that you don't need. Come learn from us. We're going to show you what makes a great gun a great gun. We're going to show you what ammo, optics. We're going to make sure that you leave an informed buyer and an informed shooter, so you know how to shoot and hit targets at distance. But the other thing that you're going to be able to do is not waste a bunch of money on equipment that you don't need. So again, go check out our courses, whether it's long range, tactical carbine, handgun. We want you to come out. We'd love to meet you in person. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go check out our Facebook page, our Instagram page. But you know, until next time, stay armed, stay ready, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm happy with that.